All right, so start in a kneeling pose. And then we're immediately just going to become a tiny bean by folding forward. Exhale deeply. Inhale. Just keep going between the two. Okay, we're going to rise back up to kneeling, and we're just going to roll onto our left hip, and then once we do that, we're then going to bring our left foot a little farther forward. Then we're going to pick up our right foot and bring it to place it outside of the left knee. Then we're going to take our right arm, we're going to take our left arm and we're going to hook it around the right knee. And then we're going to twist to the left. Try and keep your spine as straight as possible, and you can use your right arm to help you balance. Try to remember to breathe deeply while you're here. Okay, then we're going to go into cow pose. So we're going to do that by just moving our left foot a little farther forward. And then we're going to bring our right knee a little more towards the left. And the goal is to try and bring our right knee kind of down towards our left knee. And if you're not that flexible, your knee is like stuck up here, no problem. But just try and get it down. And as you're adjusting to try and sink it lower, try to make sure you're feeling the stretch in your right hip, but try to avoid pain in your right knee. So those two things will kind of be at odds with one another. And if you're feeling pain in the right knee, you want to back up and find a safer position. Okay, but now that we're here, we're just going to try and breathe and keep a tall spine. And you can make it more intense just by trying to bring your body forward a little bit, like folding your upper body down. Okay, we're going to come out of that and we're going to do the seated twist on the other side. So the right knee is going to go down in front of us, and then the left foot is going to come outside of that right knee. And now this time we're going to use our right arm to hook around the left knee, twist to the left, Okay, now we're going to go into cow pose on this side. So just adjust your feet however you want to get into this position. Okay, so now we're just going to come out of that and put our feet on the ground in front of us, and we're going to lie down on our backs and bring your feet a little wider. So bring your feet as wide as the mat, and then you're just going to let both knees fall to the left, and then you're going to pick them back up, and then you're going to let them fall to the right, and just windshield wiper them back and forth. Okay, we're going to stop that, and we're going to scoot our feet up towards our butt. And then we're going to lift the feet up and grab them with our hands. And if you can't do that, then just grab your thighs at the knee and then pull that in towards your chest. But if you can, grab the feet, and grab the feet, and we're going to come into a happy baby. And in this position, you're trying to kick your feet up while pulling back with your hands. You're also trying to keep your tailbone flat rather than letting your spine curl up like that. You want to keep your lower back like as flush to the ground as you can. So there's actually a lot going on in this pose. Okay, now we're going to release that and just kick our legs out straight, so we're just lying flat on our back. Then we're going to pick our right leg up and let the knee bend 90 degrees while the leg is hovering over us. And then we're going to let that fold over to the left side of the mat. And you can put your left hand on your right knee to help pull it down for a supine twist. And if you'd like, you can look towards your right hand with your eyes to stretch your neck as well. And this is a pose where it feels really good to get like some deep breaths, so try to do that. Alright, going to come out of that, lying flat on our back again. And then we're going to do the same thing with the left leg, holding it over us with the knee at 90 degrees, and then dropping it over the right side. And looking to the left with your eyes once again if you want. Okay, come out of that, and now we're going to bring our feet up to our butt again. Then we're going to take our right leg and place it over the left leg, and then lift the left foot up, and then grab your left thigh with your hands and pull the left thigh in, and in doing so, you're going to get a stretch in your right hip. This is a seated pigeon pose. Okay, then you can set your left foot down, reset your right leg. And now we're going to do the other side, placing the left leg over the right leg, and then grabbing the right thigh and pulling it in. Okay, then we're just going to sit up with our legs straight in front of us. And then we're going to fold over and grab our feet. So if you need to bend your knees in order to do this, go ahead and do that. Then fold over and grab your feet. And you might find that once you're here, you can extend your feet and legs a little bit more. Get them a little bit straighter. We're just going to stay here, folding over our legs. Now you're going to lift your head a little bit, but you're still going to stay folded over. And you're going to use your palm to grab like all your little toes, so everything except the big toe. And then you're going to put like the fleshy part between your index finger and your thumb. You're going to put that between your big toe and the next toe. And you're going to start this gently, because if your fascia is like tight, it can like hurt. So start slowly as you're doing this in both your feet, but you're going to pull the toes back with just a little bit more force each time, because it can, the pain can just suddenly come from nowhere if you're not used to stretching your toes. So you find kind of your limit, and you're also going to use your fingertips to massage the bottoms of the feet. All right, then we're going to cross our legs, sit up nice and tall, just for a few breaths. And now we're going to do a side stretch while in cross-legged seat. So first we're going to push on our left knee, and we're going to come onto our right side a little bit. And then we're going to do the opposite. So pushing on the right knee while stretching over towards the left. And we're going for a stretch in our obliques. So now we're going to go stretch to the left again, push on the left knee, and now just go back and forth at your own pace. Okay, now we're going to come back just to cross-legged seat. And before we continue, we're going to just do like a forearm massage, starting with the right side. Just massaging our forearms. And our hands. So I find it feels really good to like grab the upper part of the forearm and like kind of dig my fingers in while I rotate my wrist. And just like squeezing the different muscles in the forearm and feeling how they're responding to like the different motions I'm doing with my hand. Okay, gonna do the same now with the left forearm. Now I'm just interlocking my fingers, just digging my fingers into the back sides of both hands. And I find it feels really good to actually use like quite a bit of force for this one. It's kind of like doing a mercy fight with yourself. Alright, now we're just going to go into child's pose. So we're going to roll forward, come onto our hands, and then move your legs back so you're in a tabletop. Go onto the tops of your feet. Then sit back so you're kneeling, and then come forward, stretching your hands out as far as you can as you're folding over into a child's pose. Okay, now we're going to come back to tabletop. And we're going to go through some cat-cow. So for cat, you're rounding your back like a cat, doing a big stretch. Then for cow, you're going to put as much of a curve in your spine as you can. And then we're going to go back into cat. Exhale as we go into cat. Inhale as we go into cow. Then just keep alternating. All right, now return to tabletop. And you're gonna bring your big toes to touch while taking your knees out so they're as wide as the mat. And then you're gonna leave your left hand where it is, and you're gonna take your right arm and you're gonna put it under your left arm so that the back of your hand is flat on the ground. The back of your right hand is flat on the ground. And you're gonna keep sliding it. And you might want to bring your left hand a little bit back just so the left hand can take more of your weight here and give you more support. But what you're gonna do is keep sliding your right hand out, come onto your right ear, and then you're trying to get a stretch in the right side of your neck. So to do that, you might need to try and reposition your right shoulder so it's a little lower, or move your head up a little bit. So you do these little adjustments until you can get the stretch in the right side of your neck. And you want to try and use your left arm for support, your left hand for support, but slowly take weight out of it and put a little more weight into the stretch. Okay, come out of that, and we're just going to switch sides, putting your right hand down for support, putting your left arm under the right arm, and then sliding that out as you come onto your left ear. All right, come out of that. And now we're just going to go into a frog stretch. So to do that, you're going to rotate 90 degrees so that you can place your knees wider on the mat. Then you're going to start by just being in a tabletop, facing the side of your mat. And to get into the frog stretch, you just keep gradually widening your knees out to the side, as wide as you can get them, basically. And from here, we're going to push back to feel a stretch, and then we're going to come forward to get out of the stretch. And we're just going to keep rocking back and forth, like kind of testing the stretch. And you're going to keep doing that just to experiment with it. But once you get more comfortable, try and just stay pushed back. And if you'd like, you can also come down to your forearms. You might find that as you spend time in it, you can adjust and bring yourself a little wider. Okay, now to come out of it, come onto your hands and try and lean forward. Just lean forward to put weight into your hands, and then I like to just bring my feet in closer before I actually start shimmying the knees in little by little. I find that's the easiest and most comfortable way to get out of that stretch. Okay, now we're gonna come back to face the long side of our mat. And from a kneeling position, we're just going to kick our left leg forward and go back onto the top of your right foot. So the top of your right foot is now flat down on the mat. And we're going to do a runner's stretch. So you're gonna put both hands on either side of the left foot, and you're gonna bring them forward as much as you can and stretch forward as much as you can. Okay, so now we're just gonna roll forward onto our our left foot to come out of it. And then we're going to bring that foot back, drag it back, come into kneeling. And then we're gonna bring the right leg forward for a runner stretch on the right side. Okay, now do the same thing, roll onto the right foot, and then drag it back into kneeling. And from kneeling, we're just gonna sit back on our feet, and then we're gonna kick our feet out to one side and bring them in front of us. And then we're gonna bring the bottoms of our feet together, and then we're gonna lie back reclining cobbler's pose. Try to actively push your feet together and place your hands on your thighs to put a little more weight in them. All right, so that's the end of the session. I hope next week, I think I'm gonna do a bit of a more challenging and active one, so I hope you can join me for that. Thank you very much for joining me today, and goodbye.